Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel Expensive Coins, where we uncover the most valuable and sought-after treasures hiding right in your pocket change. If you love coins, history, and the thrill of discovering rare treasures, then make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, and of course, watch until the very end, because today we are diving into the top 5 Roosevelt dimes that could literally change your fortune overnight. Now, these coins may look small, just a simple 10-cent piece, but don't be fooled. They carry stories of history, minting secrets, and in some cases, shocking auction prices that have taken collectors by storm. With their rare silver sides, unusual mint marks, and sometimes even dirty or circulated conditions that only make them more intriguing, these dimes are far more than pocket change. They are life-changing treasures. So, let's get started with our countdown of the top 5 rare and expensive Roosevelt dimes from the United States that every collector dreams of owning. First up, the year 1976 was special in American history. It was the bicentennial year, a celebration of 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Across the country, everything from flags to parades carried a sense of patriotism and pride. Even the coins of that year were part of this national story, and while the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins bore special bicentennial designs, the modest Roosevelt dime quietly continued its role in American currency. Yet, within this small silver-colored coin of 1976 lies a mystery of rarity and value that has stunned collectors and fortune-seekers alike. At first glance, the 1976 Roosevelt dime looks ordinary. Struck in vast numbers, it circulated widely in pockets, purses, and cash registers. But what makes some of these coins unimaginably valuable are the rare variations, striking errors, and unique conditions that slipped past the U.S. Mint's watchful eyes. To a casual spender, it was just 10 cents, but to a sharp-eyed collector, it could be worth millions in today's market. Imagine holding a piece of change that could pay off not just your debts but transform you into a billionaire overnight. The Roosevelt dime of 1976 carries the familiar face of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, a tribute to the man who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse design shows the Torch of Liberty flanked by olive and oak branches, symbolizing peace and strength. But beneath this patriotic imagery lies the chance for unimaginable wealth, because not all dimes are created equal. Some were struck with rare flaws, others preserved in near-perfect condition, making them far more valuable than the common eye can detect. When we talk about the physical features of this coin, the numbers may sound simple, but they hold importance. The dime weighs about 2.27 grams, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a thickness of 1.35 millimeters. It was produced with a copper-nickel composition, layered over a solid copper core, giving it the silvery look that Americans recognize instantly. While most of these coins were used in everyday transactions, a small handful struck with precision or error have now become legendary treasures in numismatics. Collectors know that weight and dimensions are crucial, for even the tiniest deviation could reveal a rare error. A dime slightly heavier or lighter than its standard weight could mean it was struck on the wrong planchet, a mistake that makes it priceless. Similarly, a misaligned die, an off-center strike, or a missing mint mark has turned ordinary-looking dimes from 1976 into pieces worth a fortune. It is this element of chance, this possibility of rarity hiding in plain sight, that fuels the passion of coin collectors around the world. The 1976 Roosevelt dime also holds emotional value because of its place in history. While quarters and half-dollars were given flashy bicentennial designs, the dime remained unchanged, almost like a quiet observer of the nation's celebration. This simplicity has made it even more fascinating, because the hidden treasures among them came not from design changes but from errors and accidents, the very things the Mint tried to prevent. It is this twist of fate that now allows a tiny coin to hold a life-changing price tag. Imagine walking into a coin shop or discovering an old jar of coins left behind by grandparents. Among the faded nickels and tarnished quarters lies a 1976 dime. To most, it looks ordinary. But under a magnifying glass, you notice a missing mint mark or an unusual strike. Suddenly, what you thought was worth 10 cents becomes a golden key to fortune, capable of fetching millions at auction. That is the magic of coins like the 1976 Roosevelt dime. They disguise unimaginable wealth in the most ordinary appearances. In recent years, collectors have battled fiercely for the rarest examples of this coin. At auctions, when one of these rare varieties appears, the atmosphere changes instantly. Hands raise, bids climb, and numbers skyrocket until the price reaches unbelievable heights. It's not just a coin anymore. It becomes a piece of art, a relic of history, and a financial miracle rolled into one small piece of metal. Stories circulate of collectors walking away with millions after selling what was once just a dime in their drawer. The composition of copper and nickel might not seem glamorous compared to pure silver or gold, but rarity always outweighs material. That's why the 1976 dime can rival even the most glittering coins in value. Its worth is not in its metals but in its mistakes, its scarcity, and the sheer desire of collectors who know what they are looking at. Rarity gives it wings, and demand gives it the power to soar into the realm of millions. Some call these coins lottery tickets in your pocket, and for good reason. Unlike traditional investments that require years of patience, a rare 1976 Roosevelt dime can change your financial destiny in an instant. Imagine walking into an auction with a 10-cent piece and walking out with enough money to buy mansions, luxury cars, or even build a legacy for generations to come. That is the kind of power this small coin holds, hidden in plain sight. For coin enthusiasts, the thrill is not just about the money, it's about the chase. Every time they come across a 1976 dime, their heart races. Could this be the one? Could this be the coin with a hidden error, the one with the perfect strike, the one that has been waiting for decades to reveal its true worth? That excitement is priceless, and it is what keeps collectors searching tirelessly through rolls of dimes and piles of pocket change. The legacy of the 1976 Roosevelt dime is proof that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. It is a coin that humbles us, reminding us that value isn't always obvious. What others overlook as ordinary may hold within it the power to change a life forever. It's a story of luck, patience, and the sharp eyes of collectors who dare to believe in the extraordinary. Even today, countless dimes from 1976 circulate unnoticed, slipping from hand to hand in everyday transactions. Somewhere among them lies a gem worth millions, waiting for the right person to recognize it. Perhaps it sits in a cash register, a piggy bank, or an old coin jar in a forgotten attic. Perhaps it is in your pocket right now. That thought alone makes every dime worth a second look. So if you ever come across a 1976 Roosevelt dime, don't dismiss it. Hold it close, study it, and appreciate its potential. Because you may not just be holding 10 cents, you may be holding the key to unimaginable fortune. This tiny piece of American history carries with it the possibility of turning an ordinary life into an extraordinary one, proving once again that sometimes the smallest treasures are the most powerful of all. Next is. The year 1999 was more than just the last step into a new millennium. It was a year of anticipation, change, and hidden treasures. While technology and culture pushed toward the future, the United States Mint quietly struck millions of Roosevelt dimes, including those bearing the proud P mint mark from Philadelphia. To the average person, these coins were nothing more than a simple piece of change, worth 10 cents at the counter. But in the world of collectors, the 1999 P Roosevelt dime has proven itself to be something far greater, an ultra-rare treasure that carries the potential to make its finder unimaginably wealthy. At first glance, the 1999 P dime looks no different from any other. It carries the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, a design that has graced the dime since 1946. The reverse features the Torch of Liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength, symbols that capture the very essence of America's spirit. But while millions were produced, only a small number hold secrets, errors, unique conditions, or extraordinary states of preservation that transform this modest coin into a life-changing artifact. The physical details of this coin may sound ordinary, but they are crucial to understanding its magic. The 1999 Roosevelt dime weighs 2.27 grams, has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.35 millimeters. Its composition is a copper core clad with a copper-nickel outer layer, giving it the silver shine that has become familiar to every American pocket. Yet within these standard specifications lies the mystery. A coin that seems so normal can suddenly reveal extraordinary traits that separate it from the rest of the millions produced. Errors play a vital role in elevating the 1999 P dime to its legendary status. Some dimes struck on the wrong planchet, intended for another coin, escaped the mint. Others show off-center strikes, double dies, or missing mint marks. These rare mistakes are not flaws to collectors. Instead, they are badges of uniqueness, proof that even in a tightly controlled minting process, perfection can slip and leave behind treasures of unimaginable value. It is precisely these imperfections that push the worth of a simple dime into the realm of millions. Now imagine this. Somewhere in an old jar of coins, tucked away in a forgotten drawer, sits one of these ultra-rare 1999p dimes. Its discoverer, unaware at first, could be holding not just 10 cents but the key to a financial destiny. It's the kind of moment that transforms ordinary people into overnight millionaires. That is the hidden power of this coin, its ability to turn the smallest piece of currency into the grandest treasure. In the numismatic world, condition is everything, and here is where the 1999p dime truly shines. Coins preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, those that never saw the inside of a pocket or cash register, are worth astonishing sums. A single flawless coin with perfect luster can ignite bidding wars at auctions, with collectors driving the price sky high. What was once small change becomes a glittering prize, fought over by the most passionate coin enthusiasts in the world. The Philadelphia Mint, where this dime was struck, has a long and proud history of producing America's currency. The P Mint mark stamped on the 1999 dime ties it to this legacy. While millions of these coins flowed into circulation, the few that carried extraordinary characteristics became legends. They represent not just currency, but a moment in history where accident and intention collided to create wealth beyond measure. Auctions tell the most thrilling part of this coin story. Tales circulate of 1999p Roosevelt dimes selling for eye-watering sums, prices that climb into millions when rarity meets demand. In these moments, the coin becomes more than metal. It becomes a symbol of chance, fortune, and the unending human desire to discover treasure where others see nothing. Bidders lock eyes, paddles rise, and the humble dime ascends to the throne of priceless artifacts. Collectors often describe the hunt for rare dimes as electrifying. Every time they search through rolls of coins or peer into jars of loose change, their hearts race at the possibility of finding a 1999p rarity. It is this thrill, this constant question, could this be the one? That makes the hobby so intoxicating. And when that rare coin is finally discovered, it validates years of patience, transforming curiosity into financial freedom. But beyond wealth, the 1999 Roosevelt dime carries symbolism. It teaches us that even the smallest and seemingly insignificant things can hold extraordinary value. Just as Roosevelt's leadership during times of struggle lifted a nation, this dime serves as a reminder that greatness can come in the smallest packages. It's a lesson in patience, attention to detail, and never underestimating what appears to be ordinary. Imagine being the one who discovers such a coin. With one small piece of metal, your life could change forever. The home you dreamed of, the travel you desired, the security you longed for, it could all be unlocked by a single dime. It's not just wealth, it's a story worth telling, a legacy worth leaving. The 1999p Roosevelt dime is not just a coin, it is destiny waiting to be revealed. Even today, these treasures remain in circulation, hidden in plain sight. They pass through countless hands, disguised as pocket change. Someone might toss it into a vending machine, never realizing they've just let go of millions. That's the irony and the magic of this coin. It hides extraordinary value within the most ordinary disguise. So the next time you come across a 1999 dime with that bold P mint mark, pause for a moment. Look closely, study its details, and imagine its potential. You could be holding a key to a fortune that others missed. In that instant, the line between ordinary and extraordinary disappears, and you become part of a story bigger than yourself. The legend of the 1999p Roosevelt dime continues to grow, a symbol of luck, rarity, and untold wealth. Somewhere in America, one of these coins is waiting for its rightful discoverer. Perhaps it will be found today, tomorrow, or years from now. But when it finally appears, it will once again prove the golden truth of numismatics, that fortune favors the watchful, and that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of unimaginable riches. Next is... The year 2004 was a time of change and modern progress in America, yet within the everyday rhythm of commerce, an extraordinary story was being written in small silver-colored circles no larger than a fingertip. The Roosevelt dime, bearing the P mint mark of Philadelphia, rolled into circulation like any other coin. To the untrained eye, it was worth 10 cents, nothing more. But in the hidden world of numismatics, the 2004p Roosevelt dime has earned a reputation as one of those ultra-rare, nearly mythical coins that can transform its finder into an instant millionaire. At first, you might look at a 2004 Roosevelt dime and dismiss it as ordinary. The obverse still carries the familiar portrait of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the leader who guided America through the darkest years of the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse still shows the proud torch of liberty, flanked by the olive branch of peace and the oak branch of strength. But beneath this familiar design lies a mystery. Why do some of these coins command values that boggle the imagination? The answer rests in rarity, condition, and the sheer unpredictability of minting anomalies. To truly appreciate the power of the 2004 P dime, let's first explore its physical makeup. The coin weighs 2.27 grams, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a thickness of 1.35 millimeters. Its composition consists of a pure copper core layered with a copper-nickel blend that gives it its shining silver appearance. These numbers may sound small and ordinary, but they set the stage for something extraordinary. Because within these very dimensions exists the chance for errors, misstrikes, and rare conditions that turn a common dime into a priceless artifact. One of the reasons the 2004 P dime has captured so much attention is the existence of minting errors. Imagine a dime struck off-center, its design skewed in a way that makes it stand out like a misprinted stamp. Or consider a coin struck on the wrong planchet, a dime accidentally pressed onto the metal meant for another denomination. These errors are so rare that they are often described as once-in-a-lifetime finds, and collectors are willing to spend unimaginable sums to own them. But it isn't just errors that fuel the value of this dime. Condition is everything in the world of numismatics. A 2004 P dime in poor circulation might buy you a piece of candy, but one in flawless, uncirculated condition can spark bidding wars at auction houses. Under bright lights, its luster gleams, its surfaces remain untouched by human hands, and its edges are as sharp as the day it left the press. In such perfect states, these coins cease to be pocket change. They become works of art, trophies for collectors, and symbols of wealth. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most storied institutions in American history, was responsible for striking these 2004 dimes. Each P stamped on the obverse tells you exactly where it came from. While countless examples flowed into cash registers, vending machines, and piggy banks, a select few stood apart. These special coins, whether due to error, preservation, or sheer chance, represent the true treasures that collectors hunt. Auction stories fuel the legend of the 2004 P Roosevelt dime. Time and again, reports surface of these coins being sold for staggering amounts, climbing into the millions when rarity, demand, and condition align. When such a coin appears, it becomes more than money. It becomes the star of the auction, with eager bidders fighting to claim ownership. For a coin worth 10 cents in theory, to command prices that could buy mansions, cars, and lifelong security is nothing short of miraculous. Think for a moment about the person who unknowingly spends one of these dimes at a grocery store, tossing it away without realizing its power. Now imagine the lucky finder who spots that same coin in their change jar and takes a closer look. What one person dismissed as nothing more than spare change becomes another's ticket to freedom, luxury, and prosperity. That is the power of the 2004 Roosevelt dime. It hides unimaginable wealth in plain sight. Collectors often describe the thrill of the hunt as addictive. They comb through rolls of coins from banks, sort through bags of pocket change, and dig through old jars in search of the elusive treasure. For them, the 2004 P dime is more than a coin. It is a symbol of possibility, a reminder that life-changing fortune can appear in the smallest of places. Each time they hold a 2004 dime up to the light, hope flickers. Could this be the one? Could this be the fortune bringer? But beyond the wealth, the 2004 Roosevelt dime carries with it a story about resilience and leadership. Roosevelt's face on the obverse is not there by accident. He was the president who battled polio, rebuilt confidence during economic despair, and stood firm during global conflict. His legacy is one of turning hardship into triumph, and the coin bearing his portrait continues that theme, showing us how even the smallest of things can hold the greatest of power. Imagine the life-changing moment of finding one of these dimes in near-perfect condition. A small disc of copper and nickel suddenly unlocks the life you've always dreamed of. The weight of your worries could vanish with one coin resting in your hand. The home, the freedom, the opportunities, all made possible by something you once thought was worth almost nothing. That is the dream, and that is the magic that makes the 2004 Roosevelt dime unforgettable. Even today, these coins circulate unnoticed, hiding in wallets, purses, and jars. They are waiting for the sharp-eyed individual who dares to look closer, who believes that fortune can be disguised in the plainest forms. Some will spend them without a second thought, but a few will discover their true worth and join the ranks of those who turned 10 cents into millions. So the next time you come across a dime dated 2004 with the P mint mark, don't dismiss it. Study its surface, check its edges, admire its shine. For within its tiny frame might lie the power to change your life forever. That is the miracle of coins like this, their ability to carry not just history, but destiny. The 2004 P. Roosevelt dime has become more than just currency. It is a modern legend. It is proof that treasure still exists in the most unexpected places, that wealth can come not from mountains of gold but from something as humble as a dime. To hold one is to hold history, power, and possibility in the palm of your hand. And if you are lucky enough to find it, you will never look at small change the same way again. Next is... The year 2016 was a landmark for the Roosevelt dime, not because it was a redesign year, but because of the unexpected treasures it left behind. Among the millions of coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a tiny fraction would go on to defy logic and become some of the most valuable pieces in modern American coinage. The Roosevelt dime of 2016, bearing the proud P mint mark, is one of those rare wonders that has turned ordinary pockets into treasure chests and transformed everyday people into overnight millionaires. At first glance, the 2016 dime looks like every other Roosevelt dime. On the obverse is the solemn, determined face of Franklin D. Roosevelt, immortalized for his leadership through the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse features the torch, flanked by the olive branch of peace and the oak branch of strength. It is familiar, ordinary, and overlooked in daily transactions. Yet, within its humble form, the 2016 dime hides unimaginable potential. Now let us speak of its physical essence. The coin weighs precisely 2.27 grams, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a thickness of 1.35 millimeters. Its core is copper, wrapped in a copper-nickel-clad surface that gleams with silver brilliance under the light. These measurements are small, almost insignificant, but within these boundaries lies the possibility of rare minting anomalies, errors and variations that make some 2016 dimes worth millions today. Why, you might ask, is this dime so valuable? The answer lies in scarcity paired with circumstance. Mint errors in 2016 included double strikes, off-center designs, and planchet flaws, mishaps that escaped detection during production. Each error turned an ordinary dime into a one-of-a-kind artifact. Collectors around the globe crave these rare specimens, and when they surface, auctions erupt with excitement, driving prices to levels that defy reason. But it isn't only errors that push this coin into legendary status. Preservation is just as powerful. A 2016 P dime that has never touched human hands, still gleaming with mint-fresh brilliance, is a jewel in the collecting world. These coins, graded in the highest condition, fetch astronomical sums. One look at the mirror-like surface of an uncirculated example is enough to stop even seasoned collectors in their tracks. Philadelphia's role cannot be ignored. The P mint mark signifies the birthplace of American coinage and one of the most iconic institutions in the nation. Each 2016 dime struck in Philadelphia carries not just monetary value but historical weight. It represents centuries of craftsmanship, tradition, and the pursuit of excellence in coin production. Collectors whisper stories of 2016 dimes changing lives. Imagine discovering one in your change jar, tucked away unnoticed, only to realize it is one of the rarest examples ever minted. Auction houses have seen bidders pour fortunes into owning these tiny treasures, with some reports valuing them in the millions. The mere existence of such coins blurs the line between currency and treasure, between practicality and miracle. For the everyday person, the idea that a dime could carry such wealth feels like a fairy tale. Yet it is precisely this contrast, between the dime's ordinary face value and its extraordinary hidden worth, that makes the 2016 Roosevelt dime so captivating. It reminds us that fortune does not always arrive in grand chests of gold, but sometimes in the pocket change we take for granted. Roosevelt himself would likely have appreciated the symbolism. His life was one of resilience, of finding strength in unlikely places, and of believing in hope when others could not. The dime that carries his likeness continues that legacy. It shows us that greatness can be found in the smallest of forms, and that even a 10-cent piece can carry the power to transform destiny. The thrill of hunting for a 2016 P dime drives collectors to search relentlessly. They open rolls from banks, examine every coin under magnifying glass, and dream of stumbling upon the one that will unlock a lifetime of wealth. It is not just about money, it is about discovery, passion, and the belief that history hides in plain sight. Think of the stories these dimes could tell. Struck in 2016, a year of global change and innovation, they carry the echoes of their time. They circulated through wallets, stores, and hands, yet some survived untouched, frozen in pristine beauty. Those rare survivors are the coins that captivate markets, inspire legends, and turn collectors into millionaires. Every time you see a 2016 dime with the P mint mark, pause. Hold it closer. Feel its weight, examine its shine, and look for the tiniest details that might reveal it as one of those extraordinary treasures. It may seem like a mere coin, but in truth, it could be the golden key to unlocking a fortune beyond imagination. What makes the 2016 Roosevelt dime so special is not just its metal or design, but the story it carries. It is a story of chance, rarity, and the wild unpredictability of life. It is proof that wealth can be hidden in plain sight, waiting for the person sharp enough to recognize it. And when that recognition comes, the reward can be life-changing. So, if you are lucky enough to find one of these dimes, don't let it slip away. Don't spend it at face value. Guard it, treasure it, and recognize its true power. For within that small circle of copper and nickel lies the ability to change your future, to write a new chapter of prosperity, and to remind you that sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest fortune. The 2016 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark is more than a coin. It is a modern legend. It is a beacon of hope, a symbol of opportunity, and a promise that treasures still exist among us. And perhaps right now, one of them is already in your possession, waiting to reveal the destiny it holds. Next is, the year 2007 may feel like yesterday, but for coin collectors, it stands as a milestone that produced one of the most intriguing Roosevelt dimes in circulation. Struck at the legendary Denver Mint, the 2007 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark has climbed into the ranks of the most valuable and sought-after coins of modern America. What makes this dime so extraordinary is not just its design or its place in history, but the mystery of its rarity, hidden treasures that look ordinary to the untrained eye but could be worth millions today. On the obverse, this coin features the iconic profile of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a leader whose face has graced the dime since 1946. His determined gaze reflects resilience, and his image carries with it the legacy of leadership through the darkest days of American history. Flip the coin to its reverse, and you find the symbolic torch of liberty flanked by an olive branch of peace and an oak branch of strength, a timeless reminder of America's enduring values. The physical specifications of the 2007 D Roosevelt dime might seem modest, yet they are the foundation of its legendary status. The coin weighs 2.27 grams, spans a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, and has a thickness of 1.35 millimeters. It is composed of a copper core clad with a copper-nickel surface, giving it that distinct silvery luster. These simple numbers, precise and scientific, become monumental when paired with the right combination of rarity and error. And that's where the magic begins. Not all 2007 D dimes are created equal. Some emerged from the minting process with rare errors, double strikes, off-center designs, or planchet imperfections that turned them into unique works of art. These mistakes, though unintended, are what catapult a simple 10-cent coin into the realm of multimillion-dollar treasures. Each flaw is a fingerprint of history, ensuring no two error coins are ever exactly alike. Condition is another deciding factor in value. A 2007 D dime in pristine, uncirculated condition, untouched by circulation and preserved with mirror-like brilliance, can send collectors into a frenzy. Such coins, especially those graded at the highest professional levels, become shining symbols of perfection. The difference between a circulated dime and a mint-state gem can be the difference between pocket change and life-changing fortune. The Denver Mint's role only adds to the allure. Known for its precision, it has served as a cornerstone of American coinage for more than a century. Yet even here, perfection sometimes slipped. The rarity of flawless coins, or the spectacular rarity of flawed ones, ensures that the 2007 D dime carries stories of chance, luck, and destiny. Each coin struck in Denver carries the spirit of craftsmanship and the tantalizing possibility of unimaginable value. Collectors often speak in hushed tones about the 2007 D dime. They tell stories of ordinary people discovering one in a handful of change, only to realize they held a fortune between their fingers. Imagine buying a coffee with a dime worth millions, unknowingly letting a treasure slip away. That is the razor-thin line between everyday life and extraordinary destiny that makes this coin so captivating. To the untrained eye, the 2007 dime is just another piece of American currency. But in the hands of a collector, it transforms into a masterpiece, a tangible fragment of history that bridges the gap between the mundane and the miraculous. It's this transformation, the ordinary becoming extraordinary, that gives the coin its magnetic power in the market. What makes this dime even more fascinating is its symbolism. Roosevelt's presence on the coin is no accident. He represents strength, progress, and hope, and the dime carrying his portrait mirrors those same ideals. Just as Roosevelt led America out of struggle, this dime has the power to lift its finder into a new world of prosperity. It is more than metal, it is a beacon of fortune. In the world of auctions, the 2007 Roosevelt dime has become a headline maker. Collectors and investors line up for the chance to own one of these rarities, driving bidding wars to levels that defy logic. Stories circulate of these coins reaching million-dollar values, a figure that transforms skepticism into awe. And when the hammer drops at auction, the world is reminded that treasures can come in the smallest of packages. Every coin tells a story, and the 2007 dime story is one of resilience, rarity, and reward. It whispers a reminder that fortune can hide in plain sight, that wealth is sometimes disguised as simplicity, and that the smallest discoveries can lead to the grandest outcomes. Each 2007 dime that exists is a seed of possibility, waiting to be recognized. Collectors continue their hunt, sifting through rolls, inspecting pocket change, and dreaming of that miraculous find. The search is relentless, the passion unshakable, because the possibility of stumbling upon a multimillion-dollar dime is a thrill unlike any other. It is not just about the money, it is about the chase, the mystery, and the story that will be told for generations. So if you find yourself holding a 2007 dime with a D mint mark, do not dismiss it as ordinary. Take a closer look. Examine its luster, its strike, its details, and its flaws. You may be holding a treasure disguised as simplicity, a coin that could alter the course of your life forever. The 2007 Roosevelt dime is not just another coin. It is a legend in the making, a modern miracle of numismatics, and a testament to the extraordinary hidden in the everyday. Treat it with reverence, guard it with care, and never underestimate its potential. For within this small disk of copper and nickel lies the power to change fortune, destiny, and life itself.